It's about 11. So we're going to hold the morning tea after Pete Simpson, if that's okay. Slightly later than what we did, and then Leanne will join us after that. Hopefully she's feeling a bit better. So welcome, and just to remind everybody who's making submissions, especially you, Gary, that you are being live streamed. And this morning we are starting with the Templeton Residents Association, and it's not Val, it's Peter. So welcome, Peter. Come on up, make yourself at home. And you've got 10 minutes to tell us about anything you want to, or what's happening in Templeton. Welcome, Peter.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor and councillors. Once again, we appear. I know full well there's only 10 minutes, so we'll have to skip a few things in here. The Templeton Residents Association would like to acknowledge that the Christchurch City Council has had a huge task repairing our city after the devastating earthquakes. As well as the ongoing repair work and also the planning for much needed new infrastructure, the Christchurch City Council is looking to communities to understand what is important to them. As a Residents Association, we would like to cover a few important issues for the community of Templeton. Please note these issues have been brought up before with the Christchurch City Council in the short term and the long term plans and in your voice submissions. These issues are still very important to our community. Roads, footpaths, cycleways, public transport, sport, and recreation, stormwater and flood protection, community support. We recognise that the long term plan is for the Christchurch City Council residents, but we would really like to comment on a few topics of high importance to Templeton. The above named issues we are to address in the submission are at past and present issues still not completely addressed and are ongoing and not solved and still very important to the whole community of Templeton, and of issues also faced in many other communities around Christchurch. Roads and footpaths. The main thing with the roads and footpaths that we are concerned about is most of the footpaths in Templeton, I must say, are in pretty good condition, and if people ring the council and say there are cracks or whatever, that's normally actioned pretty quickly, and we acknowledge that. Upgrading and continued maintenance of local footpaths is crucial to the safety and convenience for all residents and visitors. TRA would like to see an upgrade of some footpaths take place in the short term rather than the long term to ensure public safety for all users. For instance, between Templeton and the Templeton shops, there are no footpaths whatsoever. There is the main highway and Waterloo Road, both of which carry a huge amount of traffic these days. So therefore, our suggestion, and it would be our request, would be from Kirk Road, which is the main sort of drag up Templeton, to Barters Road, which is the next road, about a mile down the road, for cycleway / footpath. At present, there is nothing there at all. There's a huge amount of traffic going down both roads. Waterloo Road is extremely busy now because of the Waterloo Park area, which is an ongoing and will be quite a large industrial area. And people, for instance, pushing a pushchair, out of my bracket, and what have you these days, they have difficulty safely getting down that road. And on the main highway, they would take their life in their hands. So that's fairly important to us. We need to ensure that walking and cycling paths provide choices for travel options and contribute to easier getting around. At present, it's a hazard, as I've just said. So that done and dusted. We'll get on to public transport. Public bus service. We believe that the City Council should own the whole of the buses and not as it is at present and as it used to be. So that's one thing. The Islington leg of this journey currently travels down the main South Road, turns into Hallsville Junction Road and then through Islington along Waterloo Road to Templeton. We suggest the following alternate route to capture more people. As you go down Waterloo Road, there's virtually nothing. On the main highway, if the bus came down the main highway straight through and turned at Barters Road, now of course we do know that there's going to be a change to Barters Road which will become like a cul-de-sac, and LTSA or whoever they are figuring out another road with lights on the main South Road, and that would be. But they've got a camping park there with over 100 residents, for instance, just near the Islington Hotel, for those that don't know the area. And it would be a more logical way to provide a satisfactory bus service, or a better sort of bus service. And a priority should be given to bus stops. Some of our bus stops, if you went and saw them, it is horrendous. They gravel with great pits. When it rains, people have to step out into the water, or the bus driver has to stop on the road and let the people get out, which is a hazard to the traffic behind. So sometimes we wish we'd see some people out there to really have a look at some of these things, and it's not a big deal, to be quite honest, to fix some of these things with the flooding in the bus stops, and also lighting for safety. So, Rick, okay. We object to as many buses going down Riccarton Road as what currently happens. The diesel that we use in New Zealand is amongst the worst in the world, and the hazard from the carcinogens from diesel. We would strive. People have this word, they call it light rail today, but there are beautiful trams in some cities in the world. Riccarton used to have them, or the city used to have them, and it's a quick way of moving people from point A to point B, and you don't get all the carcinogens in the air. I'm not a scientist, so don't ask me questions about that.
If you want us to ask you questions, you need to leave some time at the end though, Pete.
What was that?
If you want us to be able to ask you questions, you need to leave some time at the end of your 10 minutes.
Okay. Yep? So the consideration for light rail. Recreation and leisure. We have a lovely swimming pool at Templeton, but the hours were increased by 1 week this last season. We'd like to see it increased a little more. The residents of Templeton really enjoy having a good pool in the summer, and it's a great meeting place for everyone, especially children and youth in the community. There are no other pools in the region except at Rolleston, so nothing in Hornby, of course.
No.
And so an improved time for the swimming pool would be appreciated, or a further improved time. Stormwater. The stormwater and flood protection in Kirk Road is shocking. You don't require a great amount of rain. Streets are flooded 3 blocks up from the railway line, which is to Rewai Street, and in front of the chemist and doctor and all those places, when there's a bus stop right in front of there, when they have to pull into there, frequently the driver has to pull up basically on the road and can't get in toward the bus stop, and it just keeps flooding and flooding all the time. So and this has been an ongoing thing for about 10 years. So once again, we'd like to see something done about that, and we do realise the constraints the council are under, but safety of people is also very important. So that's one of the other things. So community support. We know that the Sockburn Service Centre is, in my words, condemned, but we certainly need something in the Hornby, Riccarton, Templeton area where we can go. We've already got 2 days, I think it is, where you can go to the local library, where council people are, but we would certainly like to see us with a new community area where the people can go and get not having to go to the likes of Pendleton or Hallsville. Hallsville, I believe, have got a new area, but let's think of Hornby and what have you as well. So that's one of the things. And in summary, the council and indeed Christchurch know how important strong communities are. We feel it is very important to permanently fix and regularly maintain current infrastructure. We already have before us new projects. The above named issues are still very much top of our wish list, and we would like to reiterate how very important we feel these are to the community as a whole. We would like to see further action on all of these issues and obviously feel they should be addressed as soon as possible. We strongly believe the council funds should be used once to properly fix and maintain the current infrastructure rather than working on quick fixes, often resulting in more time and money to refix the land not once but many times. In summary,
Pete, we've got that in front of us and we've all read it. But Jimmy is busting to ask you a question, so I'm just going to let him do that.
Okie dokie. Cool.
One question, Peter,
yes.
Because you raised the issue of the flooding issue in Hornby, but in the Templeton area for many years. My understanding, the council also dealing with issue for many years.
Yes.
What is your recommendation? How to, to fix the problem permanently rather than the temporary? What's your recommendation?
Well, we definitely know that we can't get all the dish drains fixed, but most certainly in front of the area which is used constantly, the doctors, the hairdresser, the pharmacy and so forth, in front of there, I think from memory, you know those little concrete things that go across the dish drains? I think there's about 22 of them in line. The only drain we sort of wish to be fixed at this point in time is from Mahoe Street to Railway Terrace, not all the others, just that one piece, just to put a standard curb in, not one of those dish type curbs. Even getting off a bus, well, at my age, it's damn difficult to step from the bus onto the footpath. So that's really important to us, as is the footpath cycleway.
This is going to be the quickest question ever. We have the same problem in Littleton with the swimming pool that you described in Templeton, wanting a longer season. What specifically would you be looking for?
Oh, about another 3 weeks.
And when do you want those 3 weeks to be?
From February on.
So 3 weeks at the end of the season?
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
And that's with, what do you call them? The people there, the safety people that are there. Yeah. Thank you very much. Okay. Thank you.